So, um, and both of these stories are interconnected. I'm trying to figure out which one to share first. I'll share this one first because I can make this like in under like a minute or so. When I first landed in Los Angeles, um, I didn't plan on living here. I came here to visit, and just, different decisions and different circumstances and things, I found myself having been living in abundance for several years to now living in poverty like that. And I remember going through, like, as I was here, being in this really old, nasty motel with like two, three, about maybe 3 days left. And then I was going to end up like in a shelter or somewhere. And I'm someone, I talk to the universe, and I'm like, and my mother threw me a lifeline. She's like, okay, I got the money. I can bring you back here. And I'm like, yes. And then it was so loud, but not audible. And it was like, you're meant to be here.
Hmm.
Don't leave. Just hang on. And I'm like, well, shit, you better. I don't know if I can curse her. Hurry up. Because I'm like drowning. I felt like I was on the tip of the earth getting ready to get pushed off because I couldn't find a job. And I'm someone that I can get a job in my sleep. I've got jobs where I'm supposed to have a master's degree. I don't have a degree. I can talk my way into any type of job, that doesn't require like, I couldn't be a surgeon or anything like that, but I can definitely get a job. I had the worst luck. And so I found myself one time, it was like having $5 to my name for the entire week. And having that experience of dealing with food insecurity and scarcity and not, knowing where I'm going to live and how I'm going to figure it out, the anxiety that it causes, the dark thoughts that it creates, because now you have to figure out how to survive.
Hmm.
And that's not fun. And so when you have to figure out how to survive, darkness starts to seep in, and you may think about stealing something. You may think about dining and dashing. You may think about robbing someone. You're trying to figure out how to live. And so having had that experience and seeing that when you start to go into those dark corners of your mind and they get louder and louder, it's hard to manifest and imagine a beautiful life because now you're just thinking about sad things and how did I get here and all these other things. So it's hard to pull yourself up out of it. It's possible for sure, but it's very difficult, especially if someone doesn't have a certain type of foundation or a spiritual background, or they don't have a specific type of belief system. Um, and then if you do steal to survive, imagine having children and you have to
Hmm.
steal, and then you get caught, and then you're in it can, so many things can trickle. So from having lived in that dark experience for that period of time, I understood the importance of food, but also as an activist, I knew that for me personally, it's not speaking for all activists, my best method of activism is kindness and compassion and using love. Like I've done the protests, marches, all that stuff. It just gets me angry and has me ready to fight, and that's not sustainable for me. It's not sustainable. Some people they need that and they can project into that and use that energy, but for me it makes me exhausted and it's just not what I'm made of in that way. So I've been working for Vegan Outreach for several years, and with them, I was in charge of Los Angeles doing different food outreach programs. And the last one we did was during COVID, where we went to different social justice organizations and we would just give them groceries and give their communities hot meals. And I watched how, even though we didn't say go vegan, we didn't make them listen to a spiel, we just gave.
Hmm.
And people would come back and say, oh, these vegetables I'm cooking with, I've never used so many vegetables before. One, we had gave some people some Beyond Meat. She was like, this Beyond Meat tastes like ham hocks. I'm not eating it anymore. I'm going to use this. People are coming back reporting how good they were feeling, how happy they were, how people had never seen kale before. They're like, what is this? And
Yeah.
I'm like, kale. But then I remember when I didn't know what kale was too. I'm like, oh, you didn't know what it was all the time. And so we would experiment with different fruits and give people star fruits and rambutans. And they'd be like, what is this? And it would just be, they'd be excited every week for us to see what we had next and trying bok choy and different vegetables and things like that. So people were just, their lives were changing and they were feeling better just because we were providing this to them.